So I guess I'll just sit here quietly and see if anybody shows up. And if they show up, then I go on. If they don't, I get into it. Be right back. Hey, who's here? Oh, hi. You did. Hi, Renee. Now, there is a delay. So if you type something and it takes me a few moments to respond, it's not because I'm ignoring you, it's because there's a delay. Is this coming through clearly on your end? Can you hear me okay? Okay, terrific, terrific. Um, yeah, I just thought I would drop in and just see what everyone's doing. I took a break from work and just wanted to say hi. Um, the last time I did this, it was earlier in the day, and there were quite a few people actually, but I haven't tried it in the afternoon, and I had some free time, so I thought this might be a good time to do something. I've been busy when I'm not working my day job. I've been working on wrapping soaps. I've got several that I've been packaging up here um, that I've not made on YouTube. These are just soaps that I've made, and I've made so many. I don't do videos on every single thing. Um, some of them I do, some of them I don't. Um, and I realize that I should have been doing videos. I mean, it's content and might be of interest, but getting things labeled and packaged. And there's a market coming up in about a week and a half. Um, and I'd like to take a bunch of stuff there. Just what it allows me to do is to uh, just make a few dollars so that I can continue doing this kind of stuff. Um, that's part of the fun of this is I don't do this for money, but certainly it takes money to do this. Well, hiya, Jen. I'm so glad you could make it. How are you? There is a slight delay from the time you type something to the time I respond, I know. Well, I'm glad you could make it. I was just talking to, hi, Rebecca. Well, hi. Gosh, I'm trying to remember. Only in your mind. So she told me your name. I'm trying. I really am. I'm thinking. Does it start with an N? Natasha. See, I had the letter right. Fantastic. I was just talking to Renee about. I've been working my day job, and I'm just decided to take a lunch break. Uh, and what I've been filling a lot of my time. Oh, that's fantastic, Rebecca. Oh, I understand, Jen. It's you're you're lucky because you put you put your name on yours, so you make it easy for the rest of us. Most people, and Rebecca has hers in her title, um, and I've learned Renee, for instance, said designer frog soaps. Hers sticks with me because, well, I have some frog soaps that, well, my frog soaps probably aren't as nice as hers. And if you all haven't checked out each other, do. We've got some wonderful artists here. Um, oh, that's great, Jen. I try to send some of those naughty frogs in my orders when I send them out to people. Let them be responsible for them. I've been spending time doing soap wrapping. The last few days, days off, I spent the time. I know, Renee, they do, don't they? Other than what I've recorded on YouTube, I've made a lot of other soaps that aren't on YouTube that I've made when I've had the time. And so what I'm doing is getting these all wrapped up and ready for. There's a show coming, um, a market that's going to be coming into town to my little town. Not my little town, but the next little town. My little town is too little. They're going to have like a. What happened to the chat? Oh, that was weird. The chat just disappeared. Oh, how funny, Jen. That's great. I love animal molds, and I'm looking at some new ones myself. Um, but there's a show coming, and I'm really trying to get together a bunch of things to. I, I'd like to clear out some of the older stuff. When I say older, stuff I'd like to move, and one of those markets is a good place to do that, so that I can make all new stuff. And I know that a lot of you um, do this for your job, that this is your, for many people, they do this as their income. I don't. It's just something extra. That's right, Jen. Absolutely. And what do you what do you do? Let me ask some of you. So Jen and Renee, or only in your mind, any of you, what do you do with your older stock? And I'm not suggesting there's anything wrong with older stock. Stock soap gets better as it ages, but scents can fade, colors can fade in time, those sort of things. What do you generally do with your older stuff? Do you just mark it down and get rid of it, or do you not have older stock? Maybe you get rid of all of yours early on. I don't know. Gotcha. Right. And I've started doing something along those lines, like when I sell the, excuse me, when I sell the chocolate vanilla swirl, I have another one called dark chocolate, and I'll usually include one of those with the chocolate vanilla swirl because it was an older one that it didn't take off, and I think because it's so dark. Good idea. I got you, Renee. Right. Renee, you don't sell any at all? You have you considered it, or is it just something that doesn't interest you? Because I understand, believe me, that was the last thing I intended to do when I went on YouTube was to sell soap. So it seemed like too much responsibility. But the truth is, it's helped. It's helped. If nothing else, it helps me to keep up and to buy more oils, do those sort of things. Um, I'm not a rich man. I'm not poor, but I certainly um, don't have a lot of disposable income, so that really helps. Exactly, Jen. Right. And you make such beautiful things, Jen. I love that last the well, I'm not sure how it's pronounced, but the salt. So we'll call it the brine soap. I loved that. That was just wonderful. Oh, Renee, listen. I'll tell you this. There are people, and I'm one of them, that I appreciate a flawed handmade soap more than any store bought soap. I don't care if it's got drag lines in it or a chipped corner. I will use that over and above. I would still rather use that than a bar of Dove or a bar of Dial or anything like that. So don't sell yourself short. And a lot of people like that. I've had people tell me they don't like beveled edges. They like the rough sort of look to sew. So don't forget that there are people out there who may absolutely love what you have to offer. Oh, I can imagine, Jen. It just looks so marvelous. I don't know if you know this. You would have no reason to know this. I grew up near the ocean. When I was a child in Northern California, we would travel to the ocean weekly. We were either in San Francisco on the bay fishing, or my father, we'd go out to a place called Bodega Bay, which was near where I lived. And it was right on the ocean. And nothing I can think of more about my childhood makes me happier than those times playing on the beach. And it was a lot of fun. And I really miss that. Exactly, Jen. So, Renee, look at what Jen just said, rustic. And that is a good way to, you could even, add that to your tagline, right? Or when in your description, if you decide to sell, I'm not trying to push you into selling, but I'm just saying if you're not selling because you don't think your soap is good enough, if it's good enough for you, if you wash with it and it suds as well and it cleans you and you're happy with it, there'll be other people who are happy. You don't have anything to lose, you know. Put a dozen or so bars up on Etsy. Um, and then when people watch your videos, they may click on that link. They may buy a bar from you. They may. I have one lady that buys for me regularly. Well, I've got a couple now that buy regularly. They'll buy two or three bars of soap, and that's what they're happy with. So, and I'm just one. There are thousands of us selling soaps. When you go on Etsy, there are tens of thousands of people selling soap, but there's room for all of us. Because I didn't think I would sell anything. I really didn't. Someone talked me into it, and I listed it. You know, so you never know. But it truly is worth giving yourself a little more credit. Really, I think that now I've not seen one of yours. Why don't you send me a bar of your soap, um, and I'll review it. I'll give you an honest opinion, or any of us would here, I'm sure. That's a good idea, Renee. I think that's a really good idea. That's right, Jen. Thank you for making that point. That's a very valid point because there are, 300 million people in this country. Um, so a couple thousand soapers probably can't supply all those people. I think Katie at Royalty Soaps is really trying, though. But one of the wonderful things about this to me is the community. I never dreamt, I really didn't. I never dreamt that there was such a marvelous community of people. And I'm not talking about buyers and sellers, I'm talking about people to people. Actually being able to look into someone's eye, so to speak, and make a connection with people. And I've met, well, you people, some of the most marvelous individuals, the kindest, the warmest, the most generous people through this channel and through each of your channels and others. And to me, that was a big surprise. I'm not someone who's easily surprised, and I'm not shocked by much of anything, but this really was a welcome surprise to me that there is a real community. And I'm just happy to be a part of that. And everything else notwithstanding, that is the one thing I would miss the most if I were to stop doing this would be just meeting different people and being able to fellowship. And this lifestyle, I know that I'm not so good at this yet. A lot of it is I don't have a strong connection. Well, it's not that I don't have good internet, but it's dialed into on another computer. It's dialed into my job, which sucks a lot of bandwidth. And I'm dialed into there about 16 hours a day because I have to do emails and respond to things. So I'm on a VPN, a virtual private network, and that sucks a lot of bandwidth. So there's not a lot of bandwidth for doing this sort of thing. I want to. It's something that I enjoy doing, and just being able to see all of you, I think, is a lot of fun. Well, hiya, Joan. You made it. Absolutely. Yeah, Jen, you're so right. And we don't have to agree on politics. We don't have to agree on a whole lot of things. We have a common goal, though, here, and that is to make beautiful items that other people want to watch or learn from. And you're a fantastic teacher. By the way, anybody else that's here, you can learn a lot from watching Jen's channel. I have. We share uh, some common ideals. I too have. I go down to the Texas coast, and I have made my own salt, and I just love hearing that you've done that. But the Texas is that's bay salt. It's coastal. It's not quite the same as what you're getting, but nonetheless, it's a lot of. It's good enough for soap. I don't know that I would eat it though. They have a lot of oil refineries off the Texas coast, and just not. It's not the prettiest coast. So, Joan, how's your day going? Are you working right now? Well, obviously you're not working right now, but are you at work? Oh, that's wonderful, Jen. My, I have a friend nearby who raises bees, and so I understand. Well, go enjoy. Have a fantastic day, Jen. Oh, you sure are, Jen. That's wonderful. And I love the videos when you go out and take the videos when you're out there. That's wonderful. That's something that if I had them near me, I would be filming them too. That's a wonderful thing to have. So it's nice that you can appreciate what you have. Oh, Joan, how wonderful. You got a day off. Well, that's excellent. This is just my lunch break. Well, Jen, you take care and have a fantastic day. Oh, fishing, Joan? How wonderful. What are you going to fish for? Or do you go deep sea fishing or lake fishing, river fishing? What are you doing? Oh, that's great, Renee. Well, have a great day. Um, Hope you have fresh eggs. Joan, I haven't had crappie in years, and I never was a big fan of catfish, but it was a little fishier than I tend to like ocean fish a little better. But it's big here in the South. Everybody has catfish. They even, what's funny is they call catfish places seafood restaurants, and they don't have any seafood in them. Here, I wanted to show you all one of my buddies here. Say hi, Nikki. Say hi. Nikki is the son of another Nikki that I had. Oh, that's wonderful, Joe. That's great. I love that. Even lobster on occasion. It's not so good for me, so I don't eat lobster very often, but I do love flounder. Maddie, hi. Good to see you. How are you doing today? Oh, and team, I wanted to share some information with you too about that coffee butter that I made. It can't ship in this weather. I tested it. I just set it out on my deck for 5 minutes, and it went, meow. It's just not made for the heat. And when I did some research online, without adding a lot of chemicals and stabilizers and emulsifiers to it, which I really wouldn't want in anything I'm putting on my skin, it's not going to hold up in the heat. If you ordered it, you would just get a puddle of oil. So it doesn't hold up well to this time of the year. Most of the people that sell those kind of butters and mousse and things like that, they ship them generally. They don't ship between May and September because of summer and the heat. Oh, well, I'm glad you could drop in and see us before you go to work. Can you tell us what you do, Maddie? I'm just curious. Daisy and Rose. Joan, I don't know. They may be outside right now. I don't see them. I think they went outside. I did. I uploaded a video this morning. I did a oatmeal, goat's milk, oatmeal, and honey soap. What I wanted to tell you about that too is I made three three loaves of it. Some of it's pre-sold already to someone from the market that I did last time. But what I wanted to tell you about is while I was doing it, I had this pitcher of goat milk that I just put there for a photograph. That's all it was for. Then I was immediately going to freeze it. Believe me, it had been refrigerated just minutes before I took that picture, so it wasn't like out in the open or anything for a long period of time. But as I was getting ready for the picture, I heard a noise behind me. What it was I'd reorganized my soap shelf and I had restacked them, and some of them fell over. It's all it was. Just some that were leaned up just fell over. But it made me, when I turned, I hit the table, and when I did, the pitcher of the goat milk went everywhere. And it was just about a quart of goat milk, but it was like 10 gallons. It went everywhere. It was all over my table. It was on the floor. It fell down into a power strip that I had to immediately unplug. Didn't short out anything or cause any problems, but it was a mess. It was a ghost. I agree, Maddie. It was a mean, mean ghost. Because he knows that I refuse to make a ghost soap. I bet that's it. But I did find this. Okay. My mother used to make these kind of things. I've got ones, and for Halloween, there's a skeleton one, and there's a pumpkin one, and so what I decided to do is I decided to sew this very soap, and I started on it. I got the black, I got the outline done, I got the eyes done, sort of. Then it came to the teeth, because remember, this has to run all the way through the loaf of soap, right? I'm not doing individual soaps, but an entire loaf of soap. So that means if you do a smile, that white smile has to go through the whole length of the soap, right? So you're having to pour this into a column mold, basically. And I made one for this purpose. So I had all this done. And like I said, I have the outline done, or had the outline mold made, not poured, because I wanted to get these poured first, then put those in the mold, then pour the black around it. Well, I had the the teeth, mold made. I poured the soap in. Same thing as the goat milk, right? I had it on a base, and then I had taken beeswax and put all along the base, then set the mold on there so that the soap wouldn't leak out the bottom, right? I've done this many times before on smaller molds, smaller column molds or that I've made, those sort of things. But because this one was so much bigger, it was about this size, and that's a lot of soap. And I poured it. Everything looked great. I was so looking forward because I've been filming this along so I could show you the making of video and then the final cat soap. And I, I went outside, had some things I had to do outside, and I came back in and I could hear the noise, the dripping noise. And I couldn't figure out what it was because I wasn't sure it was in the other room. It was in the soaping room, and I was in this room actually. But I could hear this drip, drip, splash. And I thought, did I leave water running in the bathroom or something? And I went in, and again, the soap mold had the beeswax had melted in the bottom or just came loose, and the soap had poured all the way out of the mold down the legs of the table onto the floor. Disaster. So, in 1 week, I've had two disasters, but nothing horrendous. Nobody was hurt. It's just a waste of oils, and that I don't like. I hate waste. That does bother me. And once things are on the floor, well, they're gone, right? So it's just nothing. I've had things spill out on the table before where I could scoop them up, and in some cases, but once it hits the floor, it's a goner. Well, hi there, folklore. How are you? Welcome to the site. It's great to have you here. Right, Joan? Well, actually, I didn't have, luckily there was no scent in the cat teeth. The goat milk mess, that's not a smell you want on your floor because it sours. It took a lot of cleaning. And I don't mind cleaning when it's necessary. I don't like unnecessary cleaning. Oh, so my lunch is about over in about 15 minutes, it looks like. But um, more than anything, I just wanted to drop in and say hi to you all. And um, I am still working. I'm going to get the cat soap done, but it's going to take me a little more work. I wanted to do this, Jack Skellington. I really wanted to do Jack Skellington. Um, I've seen other people do it in individual soaps, but I wanted to do it in a column soap. But it's a little more work getting this smell in a column is a little more challenging, even more so than this mouth. So, speaking of a wish list, um, shampooer. That's what I have a carpet shampooer. It's a few years old, and I really. Oh, you're one to do a Halloween or what in particular in your mind? What are you referring to? Natasha. I remember. But Joan, I have a carpet shampooer, but it's many years old, and but it's good to have them. Things like that are necessary, especially for people doing the kind of work that we soapers do. We can make some real messes. Lena, hi. I was just telling everyone else about the coffee butter and how it's not going to ship and why. And I'm sorry because I know you'd ordered some, and you should already have your refund. I processed a refund immediately. As soon as I realized that it wasn't going to hold up, and it was dumb of me to put it in the store before I realized that because my brain just wasn't thinking about this being hot summer and a product made only of oils. What's going to happen, right? So, And I looked online, and there are ways to make it. There are ways to make it last in hot weather, but that would pretty much ruin the entire concept of keeping it pure and natural. There are emulsifiers and stabilizers and things, but if you're going to use those things, you might as well just go to the store and buy something. You got it, Lena. Absolutely. And I'll send you when it cools off, I'm going to send you a free jar because this wasn't your fault. This was my fault for just doing a dumb thing. Right, Maddie. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Fall and winter, maybe early spring. But yeah, because a lot of the warehouses and things, they don't refrigerate or don't heat them really anyway. So that's not really my concern. This time of year, everything's hot. The trucks are hot. The warehouse is hot. So you live, you. That's a great thing about soaps. They hold up to hot or cold. I've never really done much with. I make my own melt and pour. Um, I've not bought melt and pour before, and I know with mine, it holds up to heat to a certain point. I mean, obviously, you stick it in the microwave, it's going to melt. But I don't know about those others. I'm assuming that they hold up as well. Otherwise, people wouldn't make so much melt and sweet, melt and sweet, melt and pour. So, everyone, I do need to get ready to go back to work now. I wish I didn't have to, but I do. But I really appreciate you dropping by. It's great to see you. Give me a thumbs up if you don't mind. Just hit the little thumbs up thingy. It does help. It lets YouTube know that I'm here. I suppose I'm not sure exactly. Nicole from Sin City the other day said it was important to do it. So if you don't mind doing it, it really does help. But I appreciate you all. Have a great day. And I'm working on a soap, so I should be able to get that uploaded tomorrow. And which one, Joan? Oh, I know. Isn't he funny? I was rolling. I was just rolling when I saw that. But I got to go. Thank you all so much, and I'll see you back tomorrow. Bye.